Ariel Helwani in Toronto for UFC 152 alongside Demetrious Mighty Mouse Johnson, who faces Joseph Benavidez on Saturday night to crown the first ever UFC flyweight champion. And Demetrious, it is finally here. You had to take a bit of a detour to get to this point, but the fact that it's here, that you're about to fight for the first ever flyweight championship, what does that mean for you? For a guy who in many ways has been fighting out of his weight class, not getting the respect that he deserves, what does that mean to you?
It means the world, you know, to be able to be 26 years old and to be able to accomplish something in my mixed martial arts career. It's fantastic.
Did you think that this would happen this quickly in your UFC career, that they would bring in the flyweights this early?
Oh, no, not at all. Like I said, when I started this sport just as a hobby and training, they only had 155 pounds. I didn't even know about WEC and all the others. I knew about Shuto and Deep and all that, but nothing in America.
Did you feel as though if they never brought in the flyweights, yeah, you'd have a nice career, but you would never be able to really show us what you're all about because you weren't able to fight in your natural weight class?
No, I think I could have still showed you guys what I could have done at 135. You know, it's all about matches and fights that you get to fight, you know. I thought I showed a lot of my skill set against Dominic Cruz, a guy who's bigger than me, and I continue to just keep on showing my skill set, whether it's at 125 or wherever it's at.
But those guys were, you know, 6 inches taller than you. They were cutting like 20 pounds. You didn't have to do that. You were always fighting at a disadvantage, even though you were doing very well. But you know, you make it to the title fight, you got Cruz in there who's so much taller than you. It was almost like there was that hurdle because you are a natural flyweight that you were never able to really be able to overcome. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I understand what you mean, but you know, life is not about, all right, you have the advantage. You know, God gave me this body, fight 3, and I can be, you know, assisting like, I'm not gonna fight him, I'm just gonna back up. But no, it's part of the sport. You're gonna run into guys. I'm sure one day in my career, I'm gonna run into a guy who's 6'11", I don't know, at 125. He's gonna be skinny bones, but I'm sure there's guys out there who are that tall. I mean, those guys who fight at 135 who just want to drop down to 125 just because it's like, oh, well, I'm bigger.
Right.
And sometimes always being the bigger guy come down to another weight class isn't a problem. I mean, that's not the answer to the answer.
Right. I'm not sure if 6'11", 125 will happen, but maybe 5'11".
But 5'11", 6'11", you never know.
Right. Now, I'm also wondering, you know, with this particular fight and the sort of talk with Jon Jones and, you know, you guys getting bumped from the main event, I know originally you were kind of bummed. You told me your initial reaction, but have you seen the light that this is actually kind of a good thing for you guys? Because let's be honest, a lot more people are going to buy this pay-per-view now that Jones is in the main event.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, keeping it real. Yeah, you know, with Jones being on the card and Vitor Belfort as well, you know, you're gonna have Brazil watching and you're gonna have Jon Jones fans watching, and I'm also, you know, gonna make sure that, you know, I go out there and do my job and make those fans of Jon Jones and Vitor Belfort fans of the flyweight division and of mine.
Yeah, and what about the fight week and the cutting weight? You said after your first flyweight fight in March, you didn't do it all that right. You know, you cut all the carbs out. Second one seemed to be a little better. What about the third one? How are you feeling now?
As right now, I feel good. You know, I woke up this morning 136.2. That's 11 pounds, but I have 2 gallons of water in me, and I had dinner last night, so I feel good. You know, we'll see how it goes. You know, it's only Wednesday, so I got Thursday night, and I also got Friday, so we'll see how we go.
So Joseph Benavidez obviously has looked very good in Zuffa, except when he fights Dominic Cruz. You obviously had the same issues, him with the height issue and the size issue and whatnot. How do you beat this guy? Because he has a similar style. I mean, very quick. You know, loves to throw a lot of punches. Solid wrestling. I mean, how do you actually beat him?
You know, just facing a guy like Joseph Benavidez, he's a killer, you know, and he's looked good on the Zuffa banner. But, you know, I don't think he's ever fought somebody like me who's had, you know, the skill set with my speed. And, you know, just to beat a guy like that, you just got to go out there and fight. You know, just got to, you know, execute your game plan and just go out there and keep on moving, looking good.
Do you think you're quicker than he is?
I think I'm quicker, yes. Yeah. I think I'm quicker in general of anybody, you know, Jon Jones, whoever. I think I'm the quickest MMA fighter just because I'm good about transitioning and using my hands, and I got good footwork, I think.
What do you think's the biggest hole in his game?
Joseph has no holes in his game. He's well-rounded. He knows what he's doing, and he's one of those type of fighters who's always trying to improve.
If the UFC wasn't as anxious to crown their first ever 125-pound champion, would you have come back this quickly after the fight in June?
Yeah, you know, I'm young. Obviously, you know, it's been a very busy year for me with the whole Ian McCall thing, and now fighting Joseph. So, yeah, I think I would have came back. You know, it's my job to fight, and that's what I'm here to do.
How do you think life will change if you do become the champion on Saturday for you?
I think it would change drastically just because, you know, there'll be a lot more media. They'll probably want to fly me around the world. I saw Benson Henderson was in India or whatever, so I'm sure he's doing some, you know, some touring over there. But at the same time, you know, if I become champion, I'm just going to go home, wash dishes, clean your litter box, and mow the lawn, make sure the grass ain't got no dead spots, aerate it, all that good stuff. So nothing's gonna change, you know. But there's two sides of the life.
As champion, I don't think you have to clean the litter box.
I will be cleaning the litter box. Jackson Diego, I'll be cleaning the litter box. Cats run the house.
Jackson Diego, is that named after Greg Jackson and Diego Sanchez?
No. Jackson was, and the time when I was coming to sport, Rampage Jackson was one of my favorite fighters, so I named my first cat Jackson. And then Diego, I got that name from Ice Age, the second movie.
Wow.
Just how Diego, the saber-tooth tiger, and he was chasing that the deer or whatever, and he got tired. He was like, woo! Ooh, and the deer was like, hot feed, and he was out of shape. But my cat's crazy like the Diego off Sabretooth off Ice Age too.
All right, that's a good way to almost end this interview. One last question. I'm wondering if you are fighting on Saturday night to not only, you know, history and all that, be the first ever champion, but you feel as though you have something to prove to the audience because, you know, the fight against McCall, somewhat controversial. You've had some other controversial decisions. Like, you feel as though you need a finish on Saturday to really cement yourself as the top guy in this weight class?
No, not at all. You know, I just need to go out there and execute my game plan and just win fights. You know, there's always gonna be critics out there. There's always gonna be critics, and just going out there and fighting and winning the title will be enough. Who knows? You know, I can go out there and win the title. And people are like, boo! I go out there and probably knock him out, and like bam! And and everybody like, oh my god, you knocked him out. Boo! You just almost, you can never win. One of my coaches said that, you know, if you fight Ian McCall, he has such a strong following and all that. And even when I was in Florida and when I beat him, everybody was still booing. And my coach was like, I just don't think you can win with that guy just because, you know, it's almost a popularity contest with him just because it's, you know, I'm here to fight, not to show who's more popular. If I would have done that, then I would sit in high school and be like, hey guys, I'm 25 years old, got a car. So.
A pretty wife as well, you know. I mean, you're living large.
Yeah, I'm living large. I got a pretty wife, and yeah, so everything's good.
And will your family be in attendance?
No, just my wife.
Just your wife?
Just my wife.
Did your mom ever come to you? Obviously, a lot has come out about your mom, the Countdown show and the history. Does she ever come to your fights?
Nope. She's never been. I think she's been in one of my wrestling matches.
Wow. Wrestling, not even MMA.
Not mixed martial arts.
Why?
You know, I think my mom. She's I don't want to say she's stuck in her own ways, but my mom's just, you know. I think as for me, I don't know, just she doesn't come.
Does she not support this line of work of yours?
Well, I don't want to, there's a different line of supporting, you know. Does she make sure I get my vitamins and all that stuff and support? No, not at all. But does she agree with what I do and okay with me fighting? Yeah, she's cool with it.
All right, well, that is good to know. Good luck on Saturday night. We can't wait for it. Demetrious Johnson versus Joseph Benavidez to crown the first ever UFC flyweight champion. Thanks a lot for the time, Demetrious.
Thanks, man. And check out Ariel Helwani's new show, The MMA Beat, The Sit Down. Wow. They keep it real and fresh, dog. Wow. That car, dog.
I didn't pay him to say that. That's unbelievable.